Hey guys, welcome to today's show. Oh my gosh, Amy is here. Thank you for joining me. I was like, oh no, I should just go ahead and start then. Yeah, how was the traffic? Bad?
Oh my gosh, there was like 2 or 3 accidents on the way home, so I was like I just came home and like hurried up to get ready.
Oh, well, thank you so much for being here. And you look great. You look like you're going to a party or something. Earrings
Thanks.
and stuff. Yeah. So we can only play stuff from channels like the Trial Channel because she's totally fine with people playing her stuff. So
Okay.
I don't want to get a copyright strike or whatever they call it. So we're kind of limited as to what we can react to because us avid followers we've been watching, but she doesn't have the most recent stuff up yet. So
Okay.
that's why I asked you, do you prefer to react to what's her name, Molly Crosswhite or Crozier, the drug
Mm,
dealer?
I don't remember the names, but
Okay.
you said one was the real estate agent?
Or she purchased a home from Kouri Richins.
Oh,
in
Chloe.
22.
Is that Chloe, her
Molly.
ex-best friend?
No, it's a different person. She never
Okay.
moved into the house but rented it out, stating that the first tenants didn't move in till March 30th, meaning the house was vacant for those 2 months and locks were not changed. Mm,
Mm,
okay. So maybe Crozier would be
trying to see
more.
if I remember that one.
Mhm. Okay. Well,
Did you watch any of the footage today?
oh, yes, I did. But it seemed like there was a lot of evidentiary back and forth with the judge. So it wasn't tons of real testimony. But I thought the private investigator yesterday was really good to watch.
I
You guys should definitely see that. I mean,
know.
sometimes
Mhm.
he did seem kind of pompous. Didn't you think he kind of came across at times as, he was very full of himself? Yeah.
Yeah, but I also can't imagine being in that much pain on the stand after
Mhm.
that
Back
surgery that
surgery.
he had,
Yeah.
and he didn't take any pain meds, so
Yeah. Poor guy.
I would probably be irritable too, maybe even worse.
Yeah, but it was kind of cool how he would kind of put the defense attorney in her place too, kind of
Yeah.
explaining things a little further and trying to keep his cool while also letting it be known that he was kind of annoyed by the
Mhm.
stupid questions or inferences. Um,
Yeah.
but did you catch that part about where the defense attorney started asking him about texts that he had seen between Eric and his best
Oh,
friend
yeah, that
Bryce?
was horrible. Wow.
Well, what did you think about that? Because I thought maybe, I mean, it is plausible. Maybe they did have some sort of gay affair, but the PI seemed to just totally brush that aside. He
Yeah,
thought
I
it was a
think
joke.
the way that I took it was,
Mhm.
I've had guy friends in the past, and I feel like they're always making like dumb jokes with each other,
Yeah,
you
yeah, so it
know?
could have been
And
a joke. Yeah.
yeah, and so like I think the text said me and Corey something along the lines
We're
of me and
starting to have
Corey,
an open
so I'm
relationship.
gonna take you home or something like that, you know?
Uh-huh.
I don't
Yeah.
like if I think if it was something of significance, it would have maybe been out before that moment,
Mm,
So,
yeah. Well, I do think it's kind of irrelevant unless they're going to say that maybe his best friend, gay lover, killed him. I don't
yeah.
know what direction the defense was trying to go
I
into.
don't know, and I feel like they've had so many different directions and theories, like there's been like so many like suggestions of
Mhm.
trying to implement reasonable doubt,
Yeah.
and just trying to steer anything away from Kouri, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're doing their job. A lot of people in the chat are pretty negative towards the defense attorneys, but I do see a reason in pretty much all their cross-examination questions. So, you can't totally get down on them because that's their job and stuff. So, I haven't really seen them looking totally incompetent, but so thank you, Bethany.
Yeah, and
That
I
always
work
reminds
with
us.
defense attorneys.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry. I think there might be a
Yeah.
delay. I feel like
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Amy's channel is called SpilltheCrimeTea. So please support her channel. And she works for the Public Defender's Office in Maryland. So thank you for being here. And Vince is not here. We had to change the time because I had a client who needed to meet later today. So he said he couldn't make a later time. So that's why it's just the two of us today. So I'm very happy you're here to help me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Sure. So the private investigator, Todd Gabler, he was hired by Eric Richins' family because Kouri sued them or sued the trust. So he seemed to do a really thorough job. I couldn't believe it. He said that he was giving stuff to the police that they had missed, like a recorder that he found in the house. And I still find it interesting. He was given free reign to the house because Eric's family gave him permission to go look. So that was kind of cool. Did you think it was kind of strange that he was able to put tracking devices on people's cars? Wasn't it on Kouri's car and someone else's car?
I think it would be more weird if it was law enforcement, but he has a different set of rules, being a PI. And I think he said that there are certain guidelines that he does have to follow to be able to track people. So
So
and I think the defense and the defense kept trying to make it seem like he was doing something nefarious, but it's like that's his job. Like he's not law enforcement, so he doesn't technically have to follow by their rules. So
yeah, he didn't have to get a warrant, I guess. So guess whatever he did, it was legal. Yeah, Cody is very much a Mormon, though. That would be really against a Mormon religion. That was locker room banter. Guys joke like that. Yeah, but you have to look at all angles. If you're a private investigator, you can't be so quick to be like, they're just joking. Because, I certainly would have been like, And the defense attorney kept asking questions about it. So now I'm really curious, what are these other texts and what's the context? Because she was saying, did you read all the texts around this? And but she didn't show anything. So,
yeah. And also, I thought it was strange that the defense didn't bring up the emotional affair that Eric had with the coworker, an old coworker that Kouri claims that he did. I thought that would have been a really good opportunity to ask the private investigator about that, if he's seen any evidence of Eric having an affair with the coworker, because they keep bringing that up. So I thought it was interesting that, because when they started talking about the sexting, I thought they were going towards that way.
Yeah, the coworker.
And then when they brought up Bryce, I was like, what is going on?
Yeah. But it sure did distract us, which is what the defense wanted us to do. It's like, there's something else going on. Maybe somebody else had a motive to kill him for some reason.
Yeah. I mean, I took it like locker room talk, honestly, but mostly because he said something like he realized the pattern of Eric and Bryce's relationship, and like it wasn't anything that really stood out. Like it just seemed like banter between friends, So
yeah,
I don't know.
Okay. Beach Chillin says, I think it was an important point to show the investigation was biased. To be honest, I think it's disturbing how much the family actually controlled and directed the investigation. Well, they certainly had money to pay, because they said something about that investigator making over 100,000 off of the work. So
he worked 936.36 hours on that case, and I think he said he billed 125 an hour, but if he was doing forensic stuff, it was 200 an hour.
Yeah. So he made a lot of money off of the case. Yeah. But I thought overall he came across as very competent. Yeah.
I did too.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. Did you think the defense attorney this morning was clueless? Well, I did hear her kind of arguing with the judge about whether the whole transcript of Carmen Lauper's interview should be given to the jury.
Yeah, I felt like, and I wrote notes on it, but it's in my purse over there at work. But it was just really, it was a lot, because when they did their cross, they had the transcripts before they did the cross, and they didn't ask the questions that I guess they wanted to. And now they want to look over everything, and ask for a 2-day recess. And so it just felt like they were trying to buy time, for some reason. I mean, they had all those transcripts, and then I think they wanted to introduce video because during Carmen's cross, the defense insinuated that she was giving like statements that weren't accurate. And so now the state wants to like kind of prove that by playing her videos through the detective that's going to be on the stand. Apparently he's going to be on there for a while because he was the lead detective, and I think he might be one of the last witnesses for the state.
Yeah, because the defense opened the door by saying that, or giving off the impression that Carmen had just recently fabricated things. So the state gets to challenge that by saying it's not. She did have prior consistent statements about this stuff. Yeah. So, by the way, I do want to give a big shout out to Professor Joe Explains. Professor Joe Patuto is a law professor. She's retired now, but she's been on a bunch of live stream shows with me. And now she has a very successful YouTube channel of her own. So I've been pretty much watching the trial through her channel every single day. Yeah.
Yeah, she explains things really well.
Yeah, you can tell she was a great law professor. So she's definitely the most qualified out of all the YouTubers to go for these trials and teach us about, what's going on, the rules of evidence and procedure. Yeah. So cool.
She's awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, even though sometimes he did seem a little snooty. Yeah. Why does defense see the private investigator take computer out to Tesla, but didn't see him bring the computer in from Tesla?
Yeah, that was so weird because they kept trying to insinuate that he took a laptop out of the office from the Richins home, and it turned out that it was his laptop that they were talking about, because when they played the video, he was like, "That's my laptop." So I thought it was interesting that the defense didn't know that.
Oh.
They were trying to say that he removed the laptop from the home, but the only laptop that he had obtained was the the CNE work laptop, and he got that from the family because after he passed, a coworker went to pick it up from the house, and so they had it and they gave it to him, but they were trying to say that he removed it from the home. And then they showed the video. He's like, "That's my laptop."
Oh, okay. So what about this? Do you think there's going to be court, or is it going to be closed on Friday?
Selfishly, I want there to be court on Friday because I get so excited to listen to this trial every day. Like it's such a good. It was better than I expected it.
Yeah, same here.
It's like so like, oh my God, there's just so much going on. The witnesses, the attorneys are characters in their own. Like her facial expressions. What do you think about that?
Oh, they're so terrible. When I was making shorts about it, I would see the camera pan over to her and she'd have this like that stare look, like this very arrogant, like, I dare you. I dare you to
How
say
could
that,
you say that? Or really, you're saying that?
Yeah. But it's such a bad look for her, though. And I'm sure the jurors are looking at her sometimes and thinking, like, what's with her? She seems so narcissistic and self-important and mean. Like, she
What do you
looks
say
evil.
to like your clients about facial expressions in the courtroom?
Well, usually I just tell them to keep calm and cool because the other attorney is probably going to try to get you riled up over something, but don't let it get under your skin. But sometimes people just can't help themselves. So, like, I've had clients who, during a hearing or a trial, they'll start grabbing onto my arm or constantly like grabbing onto me and whispering and saying, "No, it's not, no, it's not," and scribbling stuff like, "No, objection, objection," and I hate it when people act like that. It's like I'm trying to pay attention to what the witness or the opposing party is trying to say on the stand. So you do, need to tell the client in advance, like, just take notes, give me, do it in writing. Don't try to keep like whispering while stuff is going on because I have to pay attention. So yeah, I mean, that definitely happens. Some clients are more controlling than others. So
yeah, and I can't tell if Kouri can't control her face or if she just doesn't care.
I think she can't control herself because she seems like she's had a whole life of pulling one over people. And she's used to just getting what she wants and just screwing people over like that. Like, I couldn't believe she pretty much stole money from her friend, her best friend since, was it elementary or high school or something? The one who lost money, $45,000 plus her house.
Yeah, she got evicted from her house. I mean, I felt so bad for that witness because I couldn't imagine, like, a friend that I grew up with just screwing me over like that.
Yeah.
And she had a family, and then you're
little baby.
Yeah, you have no idea. I mean, it appears that Kouri has some rage contained in her.
Yes.
Well, the jury doesn't know about the assault with the other sister, but if she can fly off the handle like that, and then in some of the calls, she's kind of going off, on stuff. It almost seems like she can be really feisty. I mean, it took 4 people to get her off the sister. When she assaulted them.
Yeah, it just shows how aggressive and nasty of a person she can be. Yeah.
Today I printed out the walk the dog.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, cool. Okay, yeah, that's interesting. Thank you.
Yeah, because this is going to be introduced, but apparently some parts of it is going to be redacted, like her talking crap about the sisters and all that.
Oh,
So they're not going to hear that, which is interesting.
yeah.
Like at one point, she asked her mom, or she says, "Remember, I told you one way to get at Katie is going through my phone and finding a picture of her girls, even with the boys, print 15 copies and send them out anonymously to different media companies."
Mm-hmm.
You know, like she wanted to expose Katie's kids
Oh.
to piss her off, you know, which
Mm-hmm.
is
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so evil. Yeah, what do you think of this? Is Kouri writing a book while she's sitting there making faces? Yeah,
probably.
I call it how innocent she is. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Oh, and this is interesting. Why did the defense emphasize that the investigator had a Tesla? Well, probably just to, again, make people think he's some pompous rich guy
Mhm.
who's made
Yeah,
tons of money off of this case. Yeah, to try
yeah.
to turn people against him.
Mhm.
Yeah. Thank you, Mark. Thank you. Yeah, it definitely annoys me too. I couldn't believe she kept making those faces repeatedly to tons of witnesses.
Mhm.
Yeah. Do you find the way the defense speaks to the judge inappropriate or disrespectful? Yeah, I would say a little bit in terms of the tone I heard today. And even Professor Petuto mentioned it when I was listening to it today.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
They and he's been so patient with them, and I feel like he's been so fair to them,
Hmm.
you know, and obviously he needs to tread lightly for appeal purposes. Like he pretty much tries to compromise with them. I love that judge. I think he's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. He seems like really cool. He's had many years as a prosecutor in Maryland, actually.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah,
Oh,
so
cool.
probably somewhere close to where you are.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that. That's
Uh-huh.
cool.
Yeah, I read an article about him. I think he was in JAG also. Maybe. Am I getting people confused? Yeah, but he's from Maryland. He might have moved to Utah because of family or something. So, um,
Cool.
oh, well, just real quick, how did you feel about the lover boy's testimony?
Wow.
Josh, or Robert Josh
That
Grossman.
one was very interesting. You could tell that he was having a really hard time. Even from the moment he walked up
Yeah.
to get sworn in, he's
Mhm.
like, "Do you swear to tell the whole truth?" And he's like, "What do you mean the whole truth?"
Yeah, that's weird. It's like, I guess
I've never seen
he
that.
was not prepared to
Hmm.
just say, "Yes, of course you're gonna tell the truth."
And then
Yeah.
he had like his head down a lot of the times. Like I've never seen
Yeah.
a witness in any trials that I've watched just like have their head down, or you know,
Yeah.
he was spinning around in his chair, but I can imagine that that was very difficult for him. And at first I was thinking, oh, okay, you know, like he's still in love with her, because she was like smiling at him when he
Mm,
came in and laughing, you know.
mm,
And
mhm.
but when he testified that when she wrote the book, he called the sisters, and one of the sisters, and told them that she had asked him after Eric died, "Have you ever killed anyone? How did that make you feel?" Like, so I
Mhm.
think him like admitting that, or even telling anybody that, um, is like, you know, maybe he's trying to do the right thing, but it's hard to tell. And I had a bias with him going in, because I'm not sure if you saw like his brother
No.
came. Okay, well,
What?
um, YouTube channel, uh, his brother, he hadn't, he didn't speak to him for like 10 years or so. So that was a little weird. But the brother was pretty much saying that he felt like the way that his brother is, that he knew about everything and there's no way. And he's like, basically, like his brother's a sociopath.
Oh,
That was his
okay.
before he testified. But the creator respectfully removed it because after his testimony, I guess, she felt that it was just appropriate to remove it because he was having a really hard time. So she removed the video of the brother. So going in, I had this okay, let me see what he's about. I saw this video. His brother sent her 3 videos about him, but it was still a little sketchy because he said they haven't talked in 10 years, so I'm like, how do you know him,
Well, he probably hasn't changed a lot in 10 years, though.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I did see a comment somewhere on one of those trial channels where someone said that Grossman had a reputation for just preying on rich women and using them. So maybe that was also the allure that Kouri had to him, is that he thought she was rich.
Well, it sounds like their affair was very long-standing.
Yeah, because wasn't it they met in 2012, I think. Yeah, and
he moved from South Carolina to Utah.
Yeah, and someone said he left his daughter in South Carolina to run off with Kouri to Utah. Did you hear that?
No, I haven't heard that.
Yeah. Well, it's all just potentially rumors, so what do we know? Speaking of rumors, before we watch the guy's testimony, I wanted to give a shout out also to Kathy's great channel here, because I totally love her summaries. Every single day I've been watching her summaries and laughing like crazy. So she's been on a couple of live streams with me, so I'm hoping she's okay if we play like a minute or something, but the way she tells the story is just amazing. She just
recaps,
yeah, she just keeps talking and talking, and she knows all the facts, and she doesn't slip up or say and she's just so humorous the way she retells, and saves us so much time just giving us the good
she puts her own spin to the recaps.
Yeah. So let's play just a minute so people will subscribe to her. It's called Gossip, Rumor, and Innuendo. She's hoping to get to 50K subs. She already exceeded me about a month ago or something when she got to 30,000 subscribers. So
wow, that's awesome.
Congratulations to her. Okay, so let's play a minute of this.
It was like, did you remove a computer from the house? And after some back and forth, we realized that no, the PI did not remove Eric's computer from the house. Miss Nestor was like, look at this video. You're removing a computer. He was like, ma'am, that's my computer. Miss Nestor. Okay. I know you said that you watched all the videos that he turned over. Oh, yes, because this private investigator had to turn over, his little GoPro videos, basically a body cam. He had to turn all of that over during discovery. Miss Nestor was like, I watched every single bit of it. Well, good for you, ma'am, because that is your job. Anyway, she was like, did you remove a safe from the house? He was like, yeah. She's like, and you busted it open? And he was like, yup. This dude was so proud of himself. Oh my God. And she was like, there was no police present when you busted open the safe. And he was like, I don't need the police to babysit me. I know what I'm doing. Okay. Miss Nestor, you getting schooled over here in open court. So then she tries to corner him again, right? She's like, you put GPS trackers on cars, on Kouri's car, on her mom's car, on her brother's car. He was like, yeah, and also on Carmen Lauber's car. That's one of my favorite things. He was not ashamed of his actions at all. He was just like, yeah, I was tracking all kinds of people. And she's just like, the police would have to follow certain rules, but you didn't. He's like, I mean, I had rules. They were just different rules. Also, the one for Carmen's car, I removed it when I found out that was not really her car she was driving. She was out here driving illegally. This dude knows everything. I want to sit next to him at a dinner party and just listen to him tell all the stories. And they were like, Miss Nestor was like, you emailed the police when Carmen Lauber got arrested, right? And he was just like, yeah. See, I was monitoring her case in drug court. Sir, oh, you nosy. Oh, he's my favorite person.
Okay, so please subscribe to Gossip, Rumor, and Innuendo. Tune in every single day. She's working so hard summarizing the trial for us in a very humorous way. Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes she gives away socks that she makes because she got a machine to make homemade socks.
Oh, that's cool.
But I tried to enter her drawing a couple of days ago. Yeah. So where are you watching the trial?
I hop around because sometimes I like listening to it with commentary. Sometimes I don't. I have been watching Emily D. Baker because I feel like she kind of explains things, summarizes the legal aspect pretty well to the point that I can understand it. And then I think I've watched it on Defense Diaries and then just like Court TV. Grizzly True Crime. Like I'll watch it on hers. So like I just hop around at different channels watching it, or watch it just on like Court TV or Long Crime if I don't want to hear commentary. But I do go back and watch a lot of law tubers reactions to certain parts of the day, just because I'm like, am I crazy or did this just happen? And like, am I just overthinking it? So like, I'll go and like kind of fast forward to watch like somebody's live reaction to what happened that I thought was crazy.
Yeah. And I've watched some of Lawyer Lee's summaries because she has some really great shorter videos where she explains something specifically. So that's really great too. Sometimes I think it's Law and Crime Trials or something that picks out little short segments, like a 6-minute segment or 10-minute segment, because there have been so many days I didn't have time to just keep listening to the whole entire trial for like 6 or 7+ hours. So
yeah,
I appreciate.
Oh, did you hear the 911 call? What did you think about that?
Oh, I heard about it and how she was referring to Eric as it, like the body it. And I was like, wow, that's really cold, how telling is that you just found out your husband has died. It's supposed to be a surprise and you're calling him it. Yeah. So that is disturbing.
I don't remember her calling him it, but I just what stood out to me was that there wasn't any sense of urgency from her. And they're like, do you want to, I can, like the 911 dispatcher was more
concerned.
Like concerned and like, is he breathing? Is he breathing? Hello, hello, and she's like, no, and then she was like, can you do CPR or something like that? And she said, I don't know how to. And she's like, well, I can walk you through it. Like, you got to pull him off the bed. And she's like, he's too heavy. Like, it's just like, it's almost like she was just so like underwhelmed that she was like, yeah, I'm doing CPR, but there was evidence that she wasn't. Because when the paramedics came in and did it, the foam came out of his mouth. So she never did CPR really.
Oh, thank you, Cynthia. Yeah, well, I do recall hearing that phone call to the medical examiner, and that is also very suspicious because her whole entire tone was off. She seemed joyful, like, so how much of the drugs do you have to eat? Can you eat this? Like very glib and bizarre in her demeanor.
And then she lied to his father and told the father that he died from a fungal lung infection, the same thing that his mother died from. And then the sister called and the Eimy told her that they've never spoken to her on the phone. So that's so weird to me. And then in that interview she did when she was promoting her book, she said that he passed away from COVID. So she's also says, yeah, so she's also different. She said an aneurysm to one person, COVID, the fungal infection, whatever. And so like that's strange to me that she, you know, keeps saying different things to people like regarding how he passed away.
You've recalled this? I saw her partying with her friends and boys in PJs later in the day on March 4th.
It was the next day. She called it a celebration of life.
Oh, geez.
It was strange because they showed a small video clip of it, and it's her and some friends, and they're like shotgunning beers, and you know, I don't know, maybe it's just so soon, you know, like
that doesn't make any sense if you're a grieving widow and your spouse just suddenly died.
The last thing I would want would be people in my house the next day, you know?
Yeah, that's right. I read about that. The guy going pantsless. What?
Yeah.
What weird party was that? This is why the case is riveting, because you can't believe people act like this.
And that's so the guy strange. That they were claiming that he had a sexual relationship with, which at the same time, it's like, okay, well, this guy is obviously like a party guy, clown friend, you know, like the one friend that always takes his pants off, you know? So like, I thought like them insinuating that they had a relationship, it's like, maybe they're just joking because that guy's already kind of, you know, silly or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Ugly pajamas, pathetic, and the kids are right there. Yeah. So inappropriate. It's like, gosh, can't you keep up the charade a little better to try to look less guilty? Yeah. Okay. Well, do you want to just play a little bit of this Crozier testimony? Because I thought he was a very, very important witness also, even though it's sort of old news by now. Yeah. Okay. I'll speed it up a little.
You please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in the matter before the court to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, subject to the pains and penalties of perjury?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
What's, sir, your name?
It's Robert Crozier.
You spell your last name Crozier?
Yes, sir.
Sir, do you have a criminal drug history?
I do.
Can you please explain it to us?
I had a distribution charge in December of 22, and 2 possession charges in 23.
Were you dealing drugs in December of 2022?
Yes.
When did you begin dealing drugs?
I'm not sure, sometime around 2020, maybe.
And were you dealing drugs throughout early 2022?
Yeah, I was.
Ms. Lewis, approach for one moment. This is
all right.
Should you take a quick restroom break while I handle a quick issue? Please rise for the jury, please. Thank you. We're going to be in recess until 1:25. All right, please have a seat. We're on the record. Thank you for your patience. Mr. Crozier, you're under oath. Mr. Lawyer, please proceed.
So are you represented today by counsel?
I am.
And are you testifying pursuant to 3 grants of immunity?
I know that there's immunity. I don't know how many of them. Yes.
Understand. Are you aware of immunity from Summit County?
Yes.
From Salt Lake County?
Yes.
And from the federal government?
Yes.
Did your attorney assist you in getting those grants of immunity?
Yes. As far as I know, yeah.
What is your understanding of those grants of immunity?
That I need to be honest, or they're void, I guess.
Okay. Do you also understand that you have to testify not only honestly, truthfully,
Mhm.
but also fully and completely?
Yes.
And did your lawyer advise you regarding your obligations under the grants of immunity?
I don't understand what you mean.
Did she tell you what you had to do?
You just told me I had to come to court and be honest, and
Did she tell you what would happen if you weren't honest?
that the immunity would be void, or so that I could potentially be charged with a crime.
Sir, do you know who Nicole Cummings is?
I do.
Who is she?
Excuse me. She is a girl that I lived with for a couple of months at the end of 2021.
Did there come a time in early 2022 when she contacted you about a friend of hers?
Yes.
What did she say to you?
She asked me if I would talk to her friend, I don't remember her name, and get some Roxy's for her, the oxycodone.
Did you contact Nicole Cummings' friend?
I think Nicole asked her if she could give her my number, and then she contacted me. But I think that's how that went.
Did you ultimately speak with her?
Yes.
Did you text with her?
I think it was mostly phone calls, but yeah, it might have been some text. I don't know. That was 4 years ago.
Sure. When you spoke or texted with her, what did she ask for?
As far as I remember, she was asking for Roxy's for the oxycodone.
Did she identify what she was asking for by any label other than Roxy's?
No.
Did you at that time believe that Roxy's meant oxycodone?
Yeah, that's the only thing that I know. I know that they mean. Excuse me.
Did you set up to sell to her?
I set up to meet her in Draper.
Did you set up to meet her at a Maverick in Draper?
Yes.
Did you ultimately meet her at that Maverick in Draper?
Yes.
Where were you coming from to get to the Draper?
At that, I think Roy, maybe, or Layton.
Okay, this is kind of slow. Maybe I should speed it up more or jump ahead. But how did you feel about his credibility in general?
I felt like he didn't want to be there, obviously. He has immunity. I also felt like he's a drug dealer, so he probably doesn't remember the 1 or 2 or whatever 3 times that he encountered Carmen. You know, I'm sure it's hard to remember, like if he
has lots of customers.
Yeah, exactly. So it seems like he's a little like, why am I here type of thing. You know, I don't know these people. It seems like he has obviously some type of distrust with law enforcement. You know, he just seems like it's almost like pulling teeth to get anything out of him. In a way, I think he's giving them as little as he possibly can to fulfill his immunity agreement or something.
Yeah, I really don't like him that much because he keeps making all these like weird facial expressions, which looks disrespectful, like raising his eyebrows over and over again. I think like sort of a smart ass.
Yeah, it's almost like he's just being like defiant in a way. Like, I don't know why I'm here. Like, why am I here? You know, like he comes off just kind of sketchy to me. And I know they had to play his interview after this. I don't know if it was, I think it was after this, but I'm assuming that it's because his direct didn't go very well. So they played his police interview. And so I'm wondering if they thought, let's play this because this guy said something else before. Like on the stand, he says something different about the fentanyl or
the drugs or
yeah,
the colors
like,
or something.
he asked for this, but he never, like, he didn't remember fentanyl. I don't know. He's weird to me.
Yeah. Well, what do you expect? He was a drug dealer, and I also wonder, like, doesn't he look a little too old to be a drug dealer? Not that I know what drug dealers are supposed to look like, but I always thought they were a little younger looking. And he said he started in 2020, but
he started in 2020. I doubt that.
Yeah, because usually people, if you're a drug dealer, usually you grow up in that thing, and
it's not just something you
start
pick
when
up.
you're a teenager or something, not when you're like in your 40s, or he looks like he's in his 40s.
Especially what like he was selling like fentanyl, or it seemed like he was the go-to guy to get whatever anybody needed. So I doubt he started in 2020.
Yeah. Pretty Lies and Alibis has a video of what he testified. Thank you. Okay. I thought this guy was a big nothing burger, but he was important to the investigation, so I get why they called him. Yeah, they
agree,
needed him. Yeah. Well, I mean, didn't you say you do intake for the public defender's office? So is there a stereotypical drug dealer look?
There's people that I can tell that use drugs when they come in. I don't really know if there's like a typical look for a drug dealer. I mean, but the way that he acts, to be honest, like the way that he's all shifty and weird, like I could see it in him,
Yeah, he does seem kind of like, well, Jay, I'm sure you're joking, right? He says he's only 22. Don't do drugs, kids.
There's no way.
Yeah, I'm sure he's joking. Yeah, but did you see that picture I put on a community post of Drina Barnhart, that witness who was Donna Adelson's prison or jail daughter? Yeah, she's totally different and very aged and haggard in her recent mugshot. So it was just like so shocking to see how her appearance deteriorated in just
very quickly.
Yeah. So don't do drugs, right?
And at my job, the strangest thing is when people appear normal, and they come in and I don't know if I should even say this, but most of the time they'll be like, I didn't do it and I got set up and this and that. And I'm like, you can tell it's all to your attorney when you get an attorney assigned. Like, I'm just here to qualify you. Take your application. Like, you don't have to tell me your whole life story.
Yeah, you don't have to convince me you're innocent. Sure, you're innocent.
Yeah, like, and then
defend you. Yeah.
And then there'll be like people that come in and I'm like, oh wow, they seem like a normal person. And then I'll read their statement of charges and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this person allegedly did this, So it's really strange. Like I can't like categorize anybody because some people are a surprise,
Yeah. Look at Kouri Richins, would you suspect that she had done all these financial frauds and allegedly poisoned her husband?
Yeah. I mean, when I first saw her, before I knew anything about the case, I I don't think I was able to really judge her yet by her appearance, but definitely her demeanor in court is like, girl, you need to calm down. Like somebody needs to like give you some time to meditate or something. You need to control your face. You reacting that way to witnesses actually makes it seem like you are guilty. I mean,
Mhm.
that you're
Yeah.
annoyed, that you're pissed
Yeah.
off, that somebody says something that you don't like. Like,
Mhm.
it's crazy to me.
Yeah, like she's a control freak and she thinks she's better
Mhm.
than everyone. And
She's so
yeah, full of
expressive.
it.
I mean, I
Yeah.
guess Donna took the memo when they told her that she couldn't act like that.
Yeah, that's true. She tried to look like the lovable, downtrodden, innocent granny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what about Corey's black friend that testified? I couldn't get over how she acted like she was on a modeling shoot, flipping her hair, adjusting her outfit, etc.
She was really weird. Not weird, but it seemed like she was still friends with Corey in a way. When she first came on the stand, she was like, she's my best friend. And then she's like, oh, like she like realized that she was smiling too much.
Wait a second, it's a
Yeah, she's
murder
my best friend.
trial. Yeah.
Yeah, like she like corrected her, like she got like her eyes lit up. She's like, yeah, she's my best friend. And at one point she like gestured at Corey and was like, she answered a question, looked at her like with like confirmation type, like they still communicate or talk or something.
Mhm.
So she was questionable. I think she was telling the truth, but I also feel like it almost seems like she doesn't know all the evidence. Like it seems like she just probably believes that Corey didn't do it or something. I don't know.
So, what was the purpose of having this friend testify? Because I didn't actually watch hers. Yeah.
She was there the night of the celebration of life thing.
Mhm.
I believe she saw Corey's demeanor, like as like she flew and stayed the night with Corey when Eric passed away. She was kind of like her support friend, I guess. I don't know. But I think she lived in California, flew over, stayed the night, and stayed there for a few days with her. And so she, I guess, saw her behavior. I can't really remember exactly what. Oh, yes. Phoenix mentioned it. Yep. She was there when Kouri assaulted Eimy. She was there with the whole safe debacle of Kouri trying to get into his safe and the sister
Oh.
saw and all that. And then it was really interesting because the defense started getting very close to the line, asking her questions about that. And they didn't want it in, obviously. So it was like, she was like, what was Corey's demeanor during that time with that altercation with Eimy? And she was like, rage and something else, forget, but she was really pretty though. She really
Oh.
was.
Okay, I gotta try to find her testimony because it all gets buried in these 8-hour plus live streams. So, yeah, she was one of the people in the walk the dog letter that
Oh, was
Kouri
she?
said she wanted to
Allie?
get to lie for her. Okay, thank you.
There was several people that she wanted to get to lie for her in this letter. Like she was like, Sky is having my girls do the first interview with Good Morning America. So after I started watching this trial, this walk the dog letter made more sense to me because I've heard about it before and I read it, but I didn't really know who everybody was or and now when I read it, I'm like, yeah, she's probably in big trouble. Like this is not good for her at all.
Yeah, so she wrote the letter in third person from Sonoma with her. Gee, some friend, huh? She knew about the allegedly Valentine's Day poisoning. Oh,
Yeah, I think she
Gets
heard about the
nervous.
sandwich thing, that he got sick. And that's, what do you think as an attorney, like them trying to prove that attempted murder? Because that seems hard to prove, I guess, like,
You mean
like
in terms of trying to bring in the poison sandwich?
yeah, like she left the sandwich for him on Valentine's Day, and she went off with her paramour, and he ate it and got sick or whatever. Like, I feel like that's hard to prove in a way. Like, what if it was food poisoning? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
saying like
true.
with the
Yeah,
facts. I think she did
because
try to kill him, but
yeah.
I'm saying like just with the facts, what the jury's hearing.
Okay. Well, I'm sure the jury's a bit confused because I did see that one male friend where the prosecutor was just trying to get him to talk about, how Eric had that poison sandwich and he supposedly told the friend that he thought Kouri was trying to kill him or something.
Mhm.
But then the defense kept objecting, and ultimately the guy pretty much couldn't say anything. Like he just like went up there for a little bit and then it's like objection, sustain. So
Mhm.
so I was thinking, yeah, thinking about the hearsay rules, even though the person is deceased, there has to be some special hearsay exception to allow his friend to say, Eric told me this, and it's not a
Mhm.
dying declaration. It's not an excited utterance or, I'd have to look at the Utah hearsay exceptions,
Mhm.
but that's in general that, you can't say something that the decedent said to you,
Yeah,
supposedly. Which really stings because I think that is very damning if it's
I
true.
know, because
Yeah.
they can't really talk for themselves. I mean,
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
think that the jury should have the option of interpreting it whatever they whatever way they want.
Mhm.
Maybe they think the witness is lying by saying it or not, but
Yeah, but I
I
don't
guess it's
see
more
why he
complicated
would
than
lie.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, that it's too prejudicial. Yeah. Allie had to identify Kouri's handwriting in the story she wrote about her life, not walk the dog letter. Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's right. And
Okay.
she was well, I think the person before said that she was mentioned in the walk the dog letter, but she did have to, because they went to some retreat together and they had to write a story of their life in a third
Mhm.
person way. And I guess, and I forgot what exactly was in that story that was strange.
What, talking about her parents and how she had to move something like
Oh, you know
17
what? It was
times.
pretty revealing. She was saying how her mom had a gambling problem.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, that's where you get it from.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean,
Then it
her
makes
upbringing,
sense.
it was like, okay, well, now I see you have a problem too.
Yeah, it seemed like her childhood was very chaotic and unstable, so she probably learned to act, as a coping mechanism when you're a kid who has to move over
Mhm.
and over and over again and quickly try to make friends or fit in and stuff. She probably thought she was a good actress.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think Kathy says the walk the dog letter isn't in evidence yet, but it's coming. They're
Mhm.
gonna introduce it through the detective. Gosh, I forgot his name. I wrote it down, but
Oh,
it's in my
thank you.
purse.
Wow, you're so prepared, taking tons of notes. Yeah.
And I do it while I'm working. I'll just like pause the video and like write something I want to remember. But
Yeah.
yeah, they're gonna introduce the letter, and a lot of it's gonna be redacted. Um,
Mhm.
and yeah, so it's not gonna look very good for her though.
Yeah, exactly. I really do feel like she's gonna be convicted, but we haven't seen the great defense yet. So we'll wait and see. Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you know, and do you have an answer to this? Why did the lawyer Sky L drop her?
I don't quote me on this, but I think I heard that there was some type of conflict with her attorney and maybe something with like the civil litigation, but I'm not 100% sure. I heard that somewhere, but I'm not sure if that's exactly what it was. I mean, but she does have private, I mean, like a public defender's
Public
panel
defenders.
attorneys now, so
Yeah.
maybe she couldn't afford her anymore.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, because I can assume it's pretty expensive to get a privately retained defense attorney. Yeah. She
Mhm.
dropped her shortly after the walk the dog letter came out.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, in that letter, she's talking about, oh, sneak me some Crest White strips with Sky, like her attorney. I'm sure she won't care. And like,
Oh,
and yeah, she was like basically telling her mom, like, my teeth are so yellow from all the coffee. I need some Crest White strips. I'm sure that you could give it to Sky and she could put it in an envelope and she wouldn't care. Like, it did make it seem like that attorney wasn't as ethical as she should be. So
Oh.
maybe she just didn't want anything to do with that.
yeah. Okay. Nothing made her happy. Yeah, I mean, since when does having more and more children make you happier? You know, I mean, sorry to be
Yeah.
a little jaded here, but I mean, she was already not having a good marriage. So why would you then decide to bring more and more and more
Mhm.
children, thinking
I
like,
know.
hey, that's going to liven things up between my husband and me?
That'll
Yeah,
make it
usually
worse.
doesn't. Yeah, exactly. It's like very stressful having a
Mhm.
newborn baby and toddlers screaming and stuff and dirty diapers and
Mhm.
less money, you know. So yeah, the attorney was bringing in non-attorney things or documents. I mean, the walk the dog letter references using Sky. I wouldn't
Yeah.
continue to represent someone after that.
Yeah. Which is surprising because if you
Mhm.
if you remember with like Jackie Fulford and they were accusing her of letting Donna use her phone, like
Her watch.
why
Yeah.
would you want to keep representing somebody that's implicating you like that?
Yeah, although in Donna's case, I think it was the state that mentioned that about Donna's attorney. But
Yeah,
later,
but Jackie also didn't have the best reputation, so she probably didn't really care anyways.
yeah, well, apparently nothing happened to her if that was true. Yeah. So Mark says tomorrow the jury doesn't have to be there till 1. What will they be working on? Probably more of those whole evidentiary issues with the attorneys and the judge talking about it. Yeah.
Let me get my notes because I wrote it down, what was going on and what they're going to do. I'll be right
Oh,
back.
good. Why, thank you. Wow, you're so thorough. I wish I had all that time to be taking notes the whole time, but
I probably shouldn't be because I'm supposed to be working.
yeah,
But
same here. That's why I can't be doing it because I have to do real work for people. So thank you. Yeah, you're right. She had a nanny, housekeeper, and more. She had a beautiful house. You know, she gave off the impression of being filthy rich, but apparently she was a financial disaster.
let's see.
Yeah, must be her man getter opener. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, okay. So this morning, the lawyers came in at 8:30. The jury came in at 9:30. They were prepping for Detective O'Driscoll's testimony, which might be the last witness. He'll probably, I think the prosecution said it might take him a day and a half on direct. He was the lead investigator. And then, so through him, they're going to bring in pretty much everything that Kouri said, like her interviews, her jail calls, the walk the dog letter. So they were kind of combing through what was like what they wanted in or out, what they wanted redacted with those things. And then when they got to Carmen, then there was that crazy argument from the defense. And so then the defense claimed that Carmen had recently fabricated statements and inconsistencies, and the state pretty much wanted to rehabilitate her statement by playing her interview videos. And then originally the state wanted to send the transcripts back with the jury. I think it was like 900 pages.
Yeah.
And the-
Wow, you took great notes. I mean, that's all accurate from what I recall. So, yes.
And then so the judge, I guess, suggested to edit the videos instead, like to redact the actual videos instead of sending the transcripts, I think. And then the defense argued that the defense said that she needed to take the stand to bring that video in, like she had to be a witness for them to play it, for them to be able to play it. But the judge said that it can be done with Detective O'Driscoll. I think I'm saying that right, O'Driscoll. Like it can be brought in by him as a witness because he was the lead detective. And then the defense had all the interviews before they crossed Carmen. Like they had already had everything from discovery. And then so the judge told them that this is coming in because it came out during cross and they opened the door to it. So now the state has a chance to respond. They wanted to put in all the 900 pages, but they were only using 100 pages out of that. So the judge was saying, why do you need to go through all of that? Why can't you just go through these 100 pages? And then also the defense never specified exactly what they wanted in or what they wanted redacted. And then they wanted to, so that then the defense was said to put it all in. And the judge was like, I'm not doing that. So anyways, the defense has to file a motion today by 6 p.m. specifying exactly what it is that they want redacted, what they don't want redacted. And I just wrote the judge has been extremely patient with the defense.
Yes, he's very professional.
Yeah,
I like the way he runs things. Yeah. Well, it's been over an hour and I have to get going to get back to more work stuff, but I really appreciate your time, especially, me contacting you at sort of the last minute because the whole
Thank
guest
you.
thing. Yeah, but it's great talking to you. And then on Sunday, I already have Dawn DeKisto as well as Nadine coming back to also discuss this case. But if you feel up to joining us, you're welcome to. But I don't want to totally wear you out by having you come on so much. But
it's okay.
yeah, you're so into it. So
I know. I didn't think I was, to be honest. I'm more into the Adelson case more than anything else.
Yeah.
So it's, but I look forward, like every day. I'm like, when is court starting? It just helps me kind of focus at work because I just put my headphones in and kind of like focus on my job in a way. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, would you like to sell your channel? Tell people what your channel is about.
Yeah. So my channel is called SpilltheCrimeTea. I pretty much do mostly FOIA requests. I haven't been really on lately, mostly because my daughter's birthday is tomorrow. I'm planning her birthday party for this month. So,
Happy birthday.
But I'll probably do live soon again and all that. So
yeah. Cool.
So if you can subscribe, that'd be cool.
Yes, please subscribe. Thank you, Tennis Girl. She has a link to your channel. Yeah, great channel. We really appreciate all your hard work getting so much new juicy information for us people who are addicted to the Dan Markel case. Yeah. And
now
I'm
I may
still in-
focus on getting Kouri stuff because
yeah, this case actually, like you said, it's definitely more interesting than I thought at the beginning, because for years I was just like, yeah, sort of heard about it. But then once the trial started, I started watching more and more, and it is pretty riveting, especially if you can play it at 2x speed, to get past all the dead time and the breaks and when the attorneys are just bumbling about and stuff.
Yeah, and I have to pause it so much while I'm working, so like I can like fast forward between like the sidebars and all that. But
Yeah.
tell Vince that I almost was going to emulate him and say, Miss Judy.
I think that is so silly. I think he picked it up from the Ryan Fitzpatrick interview where Ryan was calling me Miss Judy. I was like, that's weird. That's like an old Southern thing where you would call your teacher or your Sunday school teacher Miss blankety blank, Miss Judy, Miss Amy. And it just sounds so weird. It's like a little kid talking to an adult. I'm like, you don't have to keep calling me that. It just sounds so bizarre. Yeah. So anyway, but people love you too. So thank you.
Oh, thank you
for being here. Thanks, guys, for caring about this case also and supporting both of our channels. So hopefully we'll see you guys on Sunday then. Okay. Thank you.
Right.
Okay. Have a good evening. Bye.
You too. Thank
Have
you.
a good night.